Hey guys, it's Noah, and today I'm going to be telling you about the time I lost my Apple Watch at a water park. Yeah, get into it. Skirt. No, we get there and like we're having a good time. We haven't even touched the water yet, and setting up, like putting our towels down and like making sure our phones are away and everything else like that. So we decided the first thing that we're gonna do is go on the 2 water slides because like we just want to get right in the water. We're waiting in line, it is what it is, and so we get up there. Before me and my little brother went, my 2 big siblings went, my big sister and my big brother, Elijah and Jasmine. And so they go, and then it's me and Isaiah's turn. We go, and we're just having a great time. You know, we're just going down the water slides. We're living life. We're living life as 4 siblings with no worries in the world. We're swimming back to shore, you know, having a good time still. Like, oh my God, that was so rad, so crazy, bro. Like, wow. And it was so fun. It was fun. And then we get to shore, right? We get up. We're just chatting about how radical the experience was, right? And I'm like, my wrist feels a little naked, right? So I'm like, I look down. And guess what I see? Nothing! Nothing. Nothing's there. Just a little wristband to get in the place, right? The $300 that I walk around with on my wrist every day, you know, just wasn't there, right? So then I'm like, guys, I can't really find my Apple Watch. Like, did I have it on, you know? And my sister was like, maybe you took it off when Elijah sprayed you with sunscreen. So I was like, oh yeah, of course, that makes perfect sense. So it's not in the water sinking to the bottom, you know? And mind you, like, this isn't a pool, right? It's more like a lake, like a clean water lake. Like, there's no fish in it or whatever. And like, they like clean it with like this stuff or whatever. So like, there's no like living things in it or anything like that. But like, it's a lake at the end of the day. Like, you can't see to the bottom. So I'm like, of course, that makes perfect sense. Why would I have it on when he sprayed me with sunscreen? So like, I probably took it off, forgot to put it on, and it's not at the bottom of the lake. So I check where we set up at. I check everything. I'm like, okay. Don't find anything. So then I'm like, okay, who wants to go to the car with me? So Elijah goes to the car with me. We go back to the car. We search the trunk. We look in the back seat. We look in the front seat. We search the area around the car, like where we did the sunscreen and everything at. And guess what we found? Guess what we found? Not an Apple Watch. So I'm like, okay, it's gone. So then my brother's talking about like, oh, like, what's dad gonna say? Whatever. And you know, me scared that I'm gonna get speed when I get home, you know? And I'm already salty because it's my watch and I want my watch, you know? So he's like, so you're still gonna have a good time, right? And I'm like, well, I'm trying to forget about it, but if you keep bringing it up now. Because you know when you're salty about something and somebody keeps talking about it and you're like, can you like not? Like, it makes you even more mad about the situation. So he was like, okay. Like, he didn't talk about it anymore. And then once we got back, Jasmine and Isaiah were like, did you find it? No. Like, fast forward like a couple hours. Maybe not even, maybe like an hour. We did a couple more activities. We were living life again. So my brother's on his way out of the water, I should say. And he raises up his wrist. He's like, look. And so I look, squinting, you know. I'm like, what? What am I supposed to see? And then still don't see anything. And then he's like, my Apple Watch. And then I look at his wrist and I'm like, oh, it's gone. The day's better. Instantly, like 10 times better, because not only was I having fun regardless of me not having my Apple Watch, and then I was like, wait, so somebody else actually feels what I'm feeling? That's really fun and fresh. Now, I know some people are gonna be like, oh my god, first world problems. Like, there's people dying. And there is. I completely understand that there are people dying. And this is not in any way like me like, oh my god, my life is so terrible. Because at the end of the day, my brother made an awesome point that like we were still able to have a good time because like the time together that me and my siblings spent, we can't get back, but we can get our Apple Watches back, you know? Like materialistic things such as those, like not like family heirlooms and obviously, but things such as like time with your family and stuff like you certainly cannot get back. So we still had an amazing time. It was a great time. We laughed, we smiled, we got mad. It was still a great time. And like I said, I understand that there are way more important issues going on in the world. And I know that this isn't the end of my life. Like this isn't the end of the world. And I can always get another Apple Watch. But it still sucks, obviously. But there are other issues in the world, such as the coronavirus and people not taking the coronavirus seriously, not wearing masks, and things along those lines, and you know, social injustice, black men and women being murdered on the daily. So like obviously there are way more important issues going on in the world, and this is not one of them. But it still, like I said, sucks. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little story time. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. 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 Ooh, 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 ooh. Bye.